Do not regret what you have done. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday, tomorrow is your victory over lesser men. Perceive that which cannot be seen with the eye. To win any battle, you must fight as if you are already dead. Do not have an attachment to anything you can't respond to. The true science of martial arts means practicing them in such a way that they will be useful at any time, and to teach them in such a way that they will be useful in all things. You can only fight the way you practice. The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to use them. The important thing in strategy is to suppress the enemy's useful actions but allow his useless actions. The only reason a warrior is alive is to fight, and the only reason a warrior fights is to win. In battle, if you make your opponent flinch, you have already won. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. It is difficult to understand the universe if you only study one planet. If you wish to control others, you must first control yourself. The true value of a person is not determined by what they have, but rather by what they give. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. It will only interfere with the real power of the warrior. If you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. When you decide to attack, keep calm and dash in quickly, forestalling the enemy. Do not let your spirit be influenced by your body, or your body be influenced by your spirit. The important thing is to polish wisdom and the mind in great detail. Respect the gods, without relying on their help. All things entail rising and falling timing. You must be able to discern this. Do not fear death. Death is always at our side. When we show fear, it jumps at us faster than light, but if we do not show fear, it casts its eye upon us gently and then guides us into infinity. When you're in a hurry, your mind is not there. When you're preoccupied, your body is not there. Study strategy over the years and achieve the spirit of the warrior. From one thing, know 10,000 things. You should not have any special fondness for a particular weapon or anything else, for that matter. Do nothing that is of no use. The true meaning of the sword is that it is always ready to hand, but it is not meant to be drawn. The important thing is to be prepared in your mind and act immediately without regret. When you know the way, broadly you will see it in everything. It may seem difficult at first, but everything is difficult at first. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. The true science of martial arts means practicing them in such a way that they will be useful at any time, and to teach them in such a way that they will be useful in all things. If you know the way broadly, you will see it in all things. To hold down a pillow with one's head. Do not let the enemy see your spirit. Do not think dishonestly. The pine tree seems to be ordinary, but it is of the best quality. Do nothing which is of no use. The path to the goal is the way of strategy. Know the smallest things and the biggest things, the shallowest things and the deepest things. Respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. The true warrior understands that if he lets himself be defeated once, he will be no good for anything. To win big, you sometimes have to take big risks. The true meaning of the sword is that it cuts and kills the opponent. If you wish to control others, you must control yourself first. Fixation is the way to death. Fluidity is the way to life. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. It is said the warrior's is the twofold way of pen and sword, and he should have a taste for both ways. You must train constantly. You must work hard to overcome your own weakness. There is timing in everything. Do not fear death. When it comes, embrace it. Adopt a strategy of never having to draw your sword. To become the enemy, see yourself as the enemy of the opponent. The art of war is to win without fighting. Foster and embrace the spirit of spontaneity. A warrior's ultimate destination is a place where they can fully realize their potential. Seek freedom from desire, remain detached, and do not let yourself be bound by anything. Perception is strong, and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distanced view of close things. When you decide to attack, keep calm and dash in quickly, forestalling the enemy. Attack with a feeling of constantly crushing the enemy, from first to last. The primary thing when you take a sword in your hands is your intention to cut the enemy, whatever the means. Whenever you parry, hit, spring, strike or touch the enemy's cutting sword, you must cut the enemy in the same movement. The true warrior is always armed with three things: the radiant sword of pacification, the mirror of bravery, wisdom, and friendship, and the precious jewel of enlightenment. The way of the warrior does not include other ways, such as Confucianism, Buddhism, certain traditions, artistic accomplishments, and dancing. But even though these are not part of the way, if you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. When you are in the way of strategy, your mind should be large and your body strong. Whatever the way, the master of strategy does not appear fast. To know 10,000 things, know one well. You should not have any special fondness for a particular weapon, or anything else, for that matter. Too much is the same as not enough. Without imitating anyone else, you should have as much weaponry as suits you. It is difficult to realize the true way just through sword fencing. Know the smallest things and the biggest things, the shallowest things and the deepest things. If you do not look at things on a large scale, it will be difficult for you to master strategy. Perception is strong and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distanced view of close things. Do not let your spirit be influenced by your body or your body be influenced by your spirit. Do not think dishonestly, the way is in training. Whatever you do, you must be faithful to the way and must not diverge from it. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. When you attain the way of strategy, there will not be one thing you cannot see. The primary thing when you take a sword in your hands is your intention to cut the enemy, whatever the means. If you are killed, you must be resolved to have your corpse facing the enemy. Get beyond love and grief. Exist for the good of man. When you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. You must practice diligently in order to develop a strong will. The spirit of the thing is always more important than the form. The true meaning of the way is unity and harmony. The way of the warrior is to master the virtue of his weapons. To become the enemy, see yourself as the enemy of the enemy. It is necessary in strategy to be able to look to both sides without moving the eyeballs. To hold down a distant enemy, first hold down yourself.